Gone Fishing with Captain Mack Farr presents Fish Tales. Fish and game departments have a winner in their striped bass programs. From 1955 to 1975, striped bass were stocked in 20 states across the country from Georgia to California. Although these stocking programs are still strong today, only 16 out of 20 states have reported any natural reproduction. And the naturally spawned fish cannot support any recreational fishery without supplemental stocking. That being said, the stripers seem to love their landlocked homes. The IGFA all-tackle record for a landlocked striper was caught by Hank Ferguson in San Luis, California, May 7, 1992. This monster line side weighed in at 67 pounds, 8 ounces. This has been Bits and Bites from the files of Fish Tales.
Good grief. You have to watch when you get them back in these pockets. You know, these fish are in 2 or 3 feet of water. And a lot of times they'll spook. So when you see this, you get this opportunity, better make it last, or take advantage of it rather. So when you hook one and he's in shallow water like this, all that cutting up, moving around, let's get this stick out of the way here. I think it spooks the others. I think they know there's something up. It's fun though when you get them back in these pockets. They're really fun to catch, and it's real visual when you can see them. Well, he just won't give it up. Pretty fish. All right, fish. It's easy to get in a hurry because you're wanting to get your line in to get another one. So I'm gonna try and pick him up, let him make the amount of ruckus possible. Nice striper. All right, lay him down there. He's gone. All right, see if we can get us another one on. And what I'm going to do, since I don't see a fish right now, we're just going to throw our bait up against this little point and let it sit here. If we see one, of course, we'll reel it in and throw it to him. And this technique's reaction bait. We've got a minnow under a float about 18, 24 inches. And when the stripers come up and they push the bait up, the shad are running, and when they are after the bait and all the bait scatters out, your minnow's hanging there under the float. It's the only thing there. Great technique. Seems to work real well when the water's really, really cool too. Let's pitch one over here on this little point. Now, I don't think the stripers, when they get back in this type of situation, they're not very object oriented. This is not a fish that's going to be on a point necessarily or in one of these pockets, but the shad do seem to orient to the little points, any kind of irregularity. So if you're not seeing fish and you're in a pocket where there's a lot of bait, then pick the little points. If there's a feeder creek, a little pocket coming in. I'm looking around. Every once I hear one, I can't see them, so. There he is, there he is. Got my float down. Let's see if I can get tight on him. Got him. Can't look around too much. Remember to look at your float once in a while. Look at him go. Man, back off my drag just a little bit. This is a nice fish. Look at him go. He's going to see how he came out of that little pocket, pulled my float down. Man, he's going somewhere. He's in a hurry. You can catch some enormous stripers on light tackle, but the difference is you got to catch him on his terms. This is not a fish that you can force or hurry. If he wants to take off going out through the lake, that's what your drag's for. Just let him go. We're actually going to follow this one on the trolling motor. Man, this is great. And most times when you're back in these pockets, the bottom's so clean, you don't really need to worry about a lot of obstructions. If you were fishing a live bait deep, or if you were trolling deep and you're out in the main lake, you got a lot of standing trees and you always have to worry about the fish getting in the treetops. It's not as big a problem here. These docks can pose a big problem. If you get a nice fish that goes down the bank, he swims under some of these docks, maybe gets around one of the poles. But for the most part, the backs of these pockets are so clean, you just let the fish swim till he gets tired. Sooner or later he will. Although this one, man, this one is really cutting. I hadn't seen him yet. I saw him V-wake him once, but I couldn't see how big he was. Now I think I'll put a little line back here. He sure did fight well. About to get tired, which is good because I'm getting tired. What a beautiful fish. All right, fella, Like he's about to give it up. Let's see if we can get him in the boat here. Let us open up one more time. Got Mack now. He's caught. Look at that little bitty hook. It's barely in there. That's why with this light tackle, you got to keep good pressure on him the whole time. Never give him slack. What an outstanding fish. Beautiful. All right. Thank you, fish. Usually in this cold water, watching this swim off. There he goes. These fish are pretty hardy. In cold water, I don't think you have to worry too much about losing them. Just if he's not moving around well, if you'll just kind of move him back and forth, or maybe give him a little head start, he'll be fine. No reason why we can't catch that fish again, or somebody else can catch him later on. Line looks good. Of course, that hook was just in the corner of the fish's mouth, so we didn't get a lot of abrasion. So I'll tell you what, we're gonna turn the trolling motor around, and we're way out of the pocket. If you can look, we hooked the fish all the way in the back of this pocket, and we followed him all the way out here. So we're gonna turn around and go back and see if we can get another one.